Security Breach has been out for about 2 months at this point, and the game has actually been pretty controversial. And although there are some flaws in the game, I actually really love the game. But just like multiple other parts of the FNaF series, there are inconsistencies in this game, specifically in the Afton ending. Now, whether this ending is actually canon or not is debatable. I still believe it is canon, but a lot of other people believe the Princess Quest ending is canon. Well, some people even believe both are canon, but no matter what you believe, the characters and location in the Afton ending are still obviously canon. But there is one inconsistency with the ending that I noticed. I did a video similar to this back when the Fourth Closet graphic novel came out, where I talked about a bunch of interesting details in the book, as well as some of the inconsistencies between the graphic novel and the original Fourth Closet. A few of the bigger inconsistencies were the Remnant amalgamation and the striped shirt kid looking completely different from how they are described in the original book. To my surprise, that video on the Fourth Closet graphic novel became one of my better performing videos in quite a while, and ever since then I wanted to do another video similar to it. The video is currently nearing 15,000 views, which is awesome. The views aren't the reason I wanted to do a similar video. Obviously, videos doing good is awesome, but I don't do YouTube just for the views. I do it because it's fun for me and it's entertainment for you guys. And when a video gets 15,000 views, I can tell people enjoy it, and would probably enjoy more videos on a similar topic. And that's why in today's video, we will be talking about why the Afton ending is inconsistent. And although it is, I love it anyway. I'll also be talking about other stuff regarding the Afton ending as well, such as opinions and lore. And obviously I don't expect this video to do quite as well as the first one on the Fourth Closet graphic novel, but I hope you all enjoy. I have a feeling a lot of people are going to think the lore is the issue with the Afton ending, but no, definitely not. The lore the Afton ending gives us is completely consistent, contrary to what a lot of people still think, and I'm going to explain how it all works in this video. But first, we need to talk about what the title is about, why the ending is inconsistent, and it may not be in a way any of you will immediately think, but there are a few things that I need to go over in order to get to the inconsistency. A lot of people didn't realize that Freddy Fazbear's Pizza Place is the FNaF 6 location immediately. I actually did know because I once saw in a video somebody brought that up. But now, it's no longer a useless fact, it's important. A lot of people didn't even notice immediately that this was FNaF 6. Even MatPat, after researching for his theory, he still said,
"If that name doesn't mean anything to you, it shouldn't really. Most of the restaurants in the series go unnamed. But while the name might not mean anything, the layout should be a familiar one."
But the thing that made people really realize that this was FNaF 6 was going inside the building and seeing the stages from FNaF 6. And at first this seems perfectly normal, but it's not. Security Breach is a game with multiple different choices of paths to take, but of course there is always one canon path that the characters need to take, like canonically. We know for a fact that Gregory goes to Fazerblast first, because Fazerblast is where Gregory and Freddy learn Vanny's name. The reason we know they canonically go to Fazerblast first is because Freddy says Vanny's name at 6 AM, and since he only learns Vanny's name in Fazerblast, they must go there first canonically. A question a lot of people have is whether the Princess Quest ending is canon or the Afton ending. A lot of different arguments have been thrown out for each. The Afton ending is fully animated, the Princess Quest ending is the only one with different music. The Afton ending was teased in the trailer, but Princess Quest was teased in a previous game. But I think I might have an answer as to which one is canon. Even though canonically we have to go to Fazerblast to get the Vanny ending, Freddy has the Monty Claw upgrade already. This seems to hint that maybe the Vanny ending is actually after the Afton ending, since the Afton ending is only possible if you have both upgrades. What if the Vanny ending happened after the Afton ending? Gregory and Freddy escape FNaF 6 somehow and go up to Vanny's hideout, but what if they don't save Vanny there, like canonically? This would be a perfect way to start off the DLC. After the Afton ending, Gregory and Freddy go up to Vanny's hideout, and we get the same cutscene from the Vanny ending. Freddy is still completely destroyed, but instead of saving Vanny, Gregory fails, and he is now left alone in the Pizzaplex, and throughout the DLC, Gregory has to figure out how to defeat Vanny alone. But that's more of a side note. Anyway, my point here is that even with the fact that the game has choices, there is only one canon path which leads to the one canon ending, and FNaF 6 is no different. The one canon path is the one where you salvage all the animatronics. But not only that, there's only one canon path when it comes to the items you buy, and in the Afton ending, we can see what that canon path is. In FNAF 6, we are able to upgrade the layout of the restaurant. It starts off as wooden, but the next upgrade has white and light gray floor tiles, and then the final upgrade has a black and white floor. In Security Breach, it is confirmed that canonically, Mike only upgrades the restaurant floor once, because we could see that the floor tiles are white and light gray, and that makes sense. Until we get to this part. This is the inconsistency here. In the Afton ending, we see both the stages for the heavy animatronics in the restaurant. Yes, both of the stages. And you may not know at first what is wrong with this, but in FNAF 6, you are actually not able to have both those stages in the white and gray floor upgraded pizzeria. If you buy one of the stages with the floor upgraded only once, the other stage will be unavailable.
Dude, you should upgrade it and buy the last stage, and then get all the dude, upgrade it and then get the last.
This is always unavailable. Why?
No, dude. The reason why is because you don't have a final upgrade.
What do you mean?
Get the
Oh
last
wait,
floor,
hold
the
up.
floor pan.
Oh no.
Dude,
I have
no,
another
get-
video to make. I have another video to make.
What video?
What?
Security Breach's Afton ending is inconsistent.
Why?
Why?
The floor is only upgraded once,
Yes, correct.
but there's two stages in Security Breach, and that's not possible.
That's impossible. Oh, wow. Very good observation. Now buy the last stage.
And that makes the FNAF 6 location in the Afton ending, as it's presented in Security Breach, impossible to exist in the way that it does. So now, with that inconsistency out of the way, let's talk about more DLC ideas. Another idea that I have that could be really cool for the DLC is having the first major part of the DLC down in the FNAF 6 cave. A theory that Krakoa and I believe is that the FNAF 6 building is a repurposed Fredbear's Family Diner, and something to support this is the fact that the cave from the elevator to the FNAF 6 building almost perfectly matches up with the path to Fredbear's from the Afton house way back in FNAF 4. I noticed this when I was building the FNAF 6 cave from Security Breach in Minecraft. Like, I noticed that the layout was really similar to the path to Fredbear's. The location of the elevator is around the same spot as the entrance to the Afton house. So, what if in the DLC, we are actually able to find the Afton house behind the elevator? And what if we can actually find the entrance to Sister Location, leading down to a broken down, dark, and decrepit version of the FNAF Sister Location facility? It could even hint more at Baby's Return, as I talked about in a previous theory. But another really cool thing that would be awesome to find in the DLC is Glamrock Bonnie. A lot of people, myself included, believe that the Glamrock endoskeleton inside Burn Trap belongs to Glamrock Bonnie. But if that is the case, the shell of Glamrock Bonnie should still be around here somewhere, probably still around the FNAF 6 location, maybe even down in Sister Location or in the Afton house. In Security Breach, we have Shattered Roxy, Monty, Chica, and we even have Shattered Freddy in the Disassemble Vanny ending. But we still need Shattered Bonnie, a leftover shell of Bonnie, broken down and left down near FNAF 6. And if the Afton amalgamation really isn't a DLC, as I talked about in a bunch of videos recently, maybe while searching for a way out, the blob's tentacles appear trying to attack us, trying to make us wonder why it's attacking us, and the reason would be because now Afton is under control of the blob. If you ask me, this would all be really, really cool. And then eventually they're able to get their way out. Because the elevator doesn't work, there has to be some other way to get out if they're on the hilltop in the ending. So, what if they go into FNAF 4, then down into Sister Location, and maybe they find an elevator up to Mike's house from Sister Location, where we find another hidden door, and make our way into the same room with the CD tapes. Then, after that, they go over to Vanny's hideout, triggering the cutscene from the Vanny ending, Freddy's destruction, and leaving Gregory all alone to fend for himself in the ending. Something I've talked about is wanting 3 separate chapters for the DLC, like the City That Never Sleeps DLC from Spider-Man PS4. It's all one DLC, but split up into 3 parts. The first part could be finding a way out of the cave and going up to Vanny's hideout, leading to Gregory being alone. A cliffhanger could be Gregory finding one of the animatronics, but getting dizzy when he sees them. And when he looks up, he sees that the animatronics now have illusion discs and are the twisted animatronics. Though I doubt this will happen, it's an extremely awesome idea that I talked about in another video, and I would so very much love to see it happen. The second DLC could be about defending from the Twisted Ones while trying to stop Vanny, possibly stomping her in the end of the DLC. A lot of people are upset that Vanny and Vanessa were heavily underused in Security Breach, but the DLC could fix that, with having Vanny be the main enemy, with the Twisted Ones as her attack dogs for when she isn't around, just like the Glamrocks are in the real game, only here, Vanny would appear much more often. In the second DLC, we could see a boss fight with Vanny and all the Twisted Ones, and Vanny after us, and when we finally stop her, Vanessa becomes a good guy. The lines in the February trailer with Vanessa helping us seem to be scrapped, but what if they weren't scrapped, but rather were being saved for the DLC? The third and final DLC could have Vanessa once again trying to help us get out, but the Twisted Ones are still under control of Afton, and Gregory wants to save Freddy and bring him with them. But while on the mission to save Freddy, the Afton amalgamation rises from under the location, and eventually there is a big sequence with Vanessa and maybe Freddy helping us to try to survive the Afton amalgamation, and our mission is to escape. And maybe we do. But there's one final cutscene where Circus Baby in the body of the Afton amalgamation is able to take control and escape the Afton amalgamation, and the puppet mask will take control of the amalgamation as a whole and destroy him, just like in the 7th Fazbear Frights epilogue, and setting up Eleanor, or a version of Eleanor for the games, as the villain for the next FNaF game. So now let's talk more about the Afton ending. A misconception that a lot of people have been believing is that Security Breach ruined the series because it ruined FNaF 6. But that's not really true. If you just don't like the new lore, that's completely fine, that's just an opinion. But Security Breach isn't the thing to invalidate the FNaF 6 ending. No, the Fazbear Frights books as well as FNaF AR had already hinted at the return of multiple characters post FNaF 6. Security Breach did not ruin the ending, it simply confirmed what we already knew. The FNaF 6 fire didn't work. And while a lot of people believe it's stupid that it didn't work, it actually makes total sense. It would kind of be stupid if it did work, to be honest. Sure, FNaF 6 was an amazing ending, and if the series had ended there, or if a newer story was created for the series, that would have been awesome. I would have been happy with that. But in FNaF 6, there's a bunch of small hints that things wouldn't end up going as planned. In the Insanity ending, people seem to believe that it's confirmed Remnant burns away with fire. However, if you actually look at the blueprints, it's only said that Remnant may burn away in fire. The author of the blueprints, likely Afton, wasn't totally sure, and now in Security Breach, Afton clearly seems to be using Remnant. In the final Fazbear Frights epilogue, it's stated that Remnant can kind of regenerate you, and on Burn Trap's body, there's a lot of stringy flesh growing over him, hinting that he has been using Remnant, likely from the children Vanny killed, in order to regenerate parts of his flesh. My theory is that Afton taught Vanny about Remnant. For background, Remnant is any metal possessed by something that has been melted down. As we see in the Fourth Closet and in the Funtime animatronics, the metal can be possessed by a soul, and multiple pieces of metal may be melted together. The Funtime animatronics are infused with the possessed endos of the original 5 animatronics melted together, meaning all the Funtimes have all the original spirits inside them. All of the spirits are merged together and split up between multiple bodies. But we also know from the Fazbear Fright story that the metal can be possessed by agony or any other powerful emotion. But it has to be possessed by something. That's the big thing. It can be a soul, it can be an emotion, it could even be a memory. It can be possessed by anything, but it has to be a metal, and it has to be melted. As we see in the Fourth Closet and the Funtimes, the endos are melted together, and in the Fazbear Fright stories, Remnant is a liquid. Remnant is also able to radiate, as in it is a metal, but you are able to see particles in the air of the energy of Remnant. This is what we see in FNaF AR. Dark, or as the Ultimate Guide calls it, negative Remnant, is melted metal possessed by specifically negative emotions, most prominently being agony and anger. So my point here is that Remnant is any melted possessed metal. It's possible that the children Vanny killed possessed some of the endoskeletons, and Afton taught Vanny about Remnant, so she melts them down and infuses them into Afton. The endoskeletons just outside the FNaF 6 building, they are the leftover endoskeletons that were not used on Afton. And it is hinted at that they are also possessed, or at the very least infected by Afton like all the other endos in the building. But them being infected by Afton doesn't make the most amount of sense, and I think the fact that they're possessed would make a little bit more. It's possible that these endos are some of the Vanny murdered children, Like I said, it's hinted that they could be possessed. Something you may not have known is that if you zap the endos in the cave leading to FNAF 6 using either the Phaser Blaster or Phascam, they will activate for a second, then shut down again. They won't run after you or function like the endos do in other parts of the game, but instead they will just stand there still deactivated. Unless, though, you walk into them, and then they will jump scare you. So it is possible that they are possessed by a couple of Vanny's victims. So I've been talking a lot about Remnant, and the reason for that is because Remnant does not burn in fire. Like I said, in the FNAF 6 Insanity ending, it only says it might burn in fire, and Security Breach confirms that it doesn't. Like I said, Burntrap has to have used Remnant in order to regenerate some of his flesh, meaning Burntrap does contain William's original dead body, and he really has been trapped down here all along. And whenever you set Burntrap on fire, he just shrugs it off, really, and he doesn't die or lose any of his flesh. All of this means that Remnant simply doesn't burn in fire. Also, one final thing I want to mention.
This also doesn't make any fucking sense. I could go on about that forever. How is this much of the FNAF 6 location intact when it fucking burnt to shit?
If you guys don't know who that was, it's a fellow FNAF tuber named The Baddest. I actually really like his videos, though I heavily disagree with his opinion of Security Breach. You guys can go sub to him if you want. His videos are pretty good. Actually, he sucks. I'm totally not joking because he got 1,000 subscribers to 36,000 subscribers in like a month. No, not at all. I'm not extremely f***ing jealous. Yo, Baddest, if you're watching, how the f*** did you do that? So the Baddest made a video not too long ago titled, Why Security Breach Ruins Five Nights at Freddy's. And while I do understand how he feels about the ending, I do disagree. But for some reason, he doesn't understand the implication of FNAF 6 being intact. He thinks this is an inconsistency, and I'm just here to correct him. Like, I'm not hating on him at all. Like I said, I actually like his videos. He's a cool dude. He seems pretty chill. But I'm just trying to correct him here. That's because he kind of got that a little bit wrong. The reason FNAF 6 is still intact is because the fire didn't work. The intact restaurant is meant to show us this. And not only that, it boggles my mind that people are surprised by the intact restaurant when even at the end of FNAF 6 the restaurant is shown to still be standing after the fire with only parts of the building being broken, and from the outside only windows are broken. My point is that FNAF 6 was hinting right from its release that the fire would not end up working. But anyways guys, I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, then please do leave a like and subscribe, and let me know how you guys feel about the FNAF lore post Ultimate Custom Night. I actually do really like it, but I do wish we got more screen time from Burntrap, Blob, and Vanny so that we could have more lore information on them. But anyway, if you guys don't like the new lore, that is completely fine, as it is your opinion and your opinion alone. And the same goes for me. I enjoyed the new lore, but that's only my opinion. Please just make sure you understand and be respectful to both me and each other. Don't bash each other for each other's opinions, but yeah. Anyway, that's all, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.